Okay, can everyone see me? Facebook just freaked out. I'm not sure what happened because it wouldn't let me go back live. It's very embarrassing. Okay, so I got some questions. I just have to go back to the other video and also the event. You're all angels, thank you. I'll just wait a couple of minutes for people to get the notification that I'm back. So drop a comment if you're watching because I don't quite trust Facebook at the moment, but I'm just going to try and wrap this up after answering everyone's questions. So let's see. Thank you. All right, so we've got a couple of people watching. Hi. Sorry about the interruption. I'm just trying to find the video that just stopped to get the rest of the comments. Here we go. That's right. So what I was saying for Kimberly, her question was, mites love her forehead. They go away and then come back in 2 weeks. So that's really interesting, especially because Demodex with their life cycles, they're all on different timetables, I guess. They're all laying eggs, growing into adults, mating at different times. So that life cycle is always continuing. But that's really interesting that you only notice it at certain times. I wonder, Kimberly, have you ever documented it, dates when it starts and when it ends? I wonder if there's some kind of pattern there. But you could always just try the SDT spray, which is one of the really mild sprays that will kill Demodex mites and a really good entry point. And it's easier to tell how Demodex related it is after you start treatment, especially if you go through any of that die-off. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. I've just got a couple more questions about symptoms. Where is it? Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Tina, for clarifying that. Okay. All right, so Sherry has issues with thickening of the nose. So that's, again, can be Demodex related. Thanks, Tina, for helping. That's one of the symptoms that it's not 100% related. So, okay, let me go back a couple of steps so it makes sense. So with Demodex mites and their symptoms, in the best case scenario, your symptom is 100% linked to an overpopulation of Demodex mites. So that's usually things like acne, rosacea, itching, in some cases hair loss, which means that's a direct response from your skin or your body from having too many mites living in that small area. So I say best case scenario, even though mites aren't the most pleasurable thing for most people to know they have, but it's the best case scenario because mites are treatable. Once you treat the mites, you get rid of the problem, your skin doesn't have to react to that problem anymore and the symptom goes. There are some other symptoms that are a little bit more complicated, and it really just varies on how closely they are Demodex related. So, for example, something like hair loss. As we all know, there can be hundreds of reasons why hair loss is occurring in someone, lots of different factors, and Demodex mites are just one factor. But something about mites that is often overlooked, especially when people are kind of seeking treatment on their own and not getting this feedback, is mites, they eat oils our skin produces, but they also feed off any topical products we put on our skin. So things like oils and nutrients, and like you're trying to give your hair the nutrients it's obviously lacking. Sometimes it's because mites are feeding off it. Basically, you're just feeding them an expensive meal. So your hair is still not getting your nutrients. Your skin is still not getting the nutrients because mites are there in high numbers feeding off it. So even though it may not by itself like totally cure the symptom, getting rid of Demodex is a unavoidable step, or we call it the precondition. So it's like before you start treatment, you need to get rid of the mites. If you get rid of the mites and your symptoms are all gone, like amazing, that symptom was directly related. But in a lot of cases, it is just the first step to treating them effectively. So your hair or your skin is in a good condition to receive the nutrients it needs, or whatever it does need. So for example, and I speak about hair, but it can be things like skin thickening, like wide pores, like lots of different symptoms, which maybe like probably you're all experiencing. Thank you. We have a few more viewers now. Just leave me a comment, please. Let me know people are watching. So yeah, basically, there's a lot of information to do with mites. There always is. If there were easy answers and a wide known situation, there probably wouldn't be as many people doing their own research, because it is a really exhaustive thing. Like, have you been to the doctor with these skin problems? Have you tried to find answers through the medical profession? Like, unfortunately, most people haven't, and they're still looking for answers. So anyway, I'm off on a tangent. So I've got a couple more questions. Yeah, so I really think hair mites are damaging my scalp and hair, experiencing hair loss. So it is a really good place to start, especially if you have tried a lot of other treatments and it isn't working. We actually have an online questionnaire or quiz on our website where it will give you, it'll ask, I think it's something like 22 questions. It takes about 5 minutes to complete, and it'll give you an indication on what your Demodex populations might be. There's also optional consultation after that. It outlines it all. So I'll leave a link in the comments of this video afterwards. So I just want to wrap up. There's a couple more questions. All right. Roberta has asked a few questions. Thank you so much, Roberta. She knows I was nervous to do this video. So I'll just double check. Okay. So I'm making it through. No problem, Tina. So is there a video on spraying at night? So in regards to treatment, we do have some user guides, although they are a little bit outdated. We are working on that. and application as well. Although our user guide that comes with the products is general, sometimes people have more specific needs, and that's included. We have a one-on-one consultation. You just need to request it, especially if people buy Ungex from Amazon. We don't have access to your details, so you are totally entitled to one-on-one support. You just need to get in touch with us directly because we can't talk to you. So I've read that dogs can't be infected with two human species, but my beloved Maltese seems to have the same symptoms but no hair loss. Poor darling. So interspecies Demodex transfer it's not impossible, but it's not common. It is usually because dogs have their own, I think dogs have 2 or 3 species of Demodex mites. I know it's definitely Demodex canis, and I think there were some others recently found. So it's highly unlikely that their mites will transfer onto us, but it's a little bit more common for our mites to transfer onto them. However, for whatever reason, vets, it's quite common for them to do skin scrapings for Demodex mites, and dogs, they have their own medication. So if you are worried about an animal, one, just talk to your vet. I think it's a lot like treating Demodex in humans is a very complex situation, and it requires a lot of different areas we need to cover. Animals are a little bit more straightforward. So I think it's something like 30-ish years that vets have been on top of Demodex in animals with treatment-wise. So they're pretty well equipped. Just for whatever reason, it's us humans that are lacking information. All right, I'm just checking for some more questions before I'll just introduce our products really quickly. I more wanted to go through Demodex information here today, but like I said, I want you guys, everybody in this group is suffering with whatever symptoms, and obviously if you're here, there's a good chance it is Demodex mites. So I'll just let you know about what we do here at Ungex. If you want more information, feel free to, again, leave a comment under this video or just send me a private message if you're not feeling the public comments. So basically, we have 4 main products. I'll stop talking with my hands. So we have 4 main products. They basically work in 2 ways. They help make your skin a really hostile place for the mites to live, a really hard place for them to have a good life and reproduce, as well as killing them directly. So night by night, we do reduce those populations until eventually we've kind of killed enough numbers to make a difference for your skin not to having to be react to a high population of mites. So the products are one thing, it's also the way you use them is just as important. So if you get our products and you don't use them correctly, you won't get the same results as what you should. So that consultation, which is why we spend so much time educating, is huge. Otherwise, it's just kind of, you may as well do home remedies because it's like being in the dark, experimenting, which, I mean, for some people, it's, you know, just when you're ready. But yeah, so our products basically work in those 2 different ways. Protocol is essentially how to use the products to be effective on Demodex mites, how to stop cross-transfer in the environment and protect yourself from like reinfestation, basically, whether it be from yourself or other people, and basically just when people are treating mites, usually they're trying to cover all areas, and it can be exhausting when you're washing your bedding every day, you're washing your clothes every day, you're going through all of these rigorous routines trying to get on top of it, when you might not necessarily have to be doing all of that. There's just a few certain steps you can do to be successful at that while you're treating them. Also things like not feeding mites, keeping your body a hostile environment, being kind to your skin, building your skin's barriers and immune system. There is, when people see the Ungex treatment, they think it's just a product, but it is a lot more than that. Basically, it's a minimum 3 to 4 month treatment. Now, it can take longer if you have more severe symptoms, if your skin's very sensitive and we have to go in a little bit more slowly, or if there's incorrect use of the protocol. So we have different package options. If, to be honest, if you just want to start or you're on a budget, the basic kit, which retails at $1.99 Australian, hang on, AUD to USD, I'm just doing a currency conversion. It's about $136 Australian. It lasts between 4 to 6 weeks, is a really good start. Or you can get the whole package. Sorry, again, I'm in the office. The whole bundle to last you the average of the whole treatment period all at once, which means you don't essentially have to buy again. There's a lot of information. I'm running past my time limit. So if you do want to know about treatment, don't be scared of the price. We will try and make it work for you as much as we possibly can. So treating mites, it's basically the sooner you start getting on top of it, the easier it is. We also, I'll just mention quickly before I go, I'm just double checking for questions. I think I've got all of them. I'll just double check one thing. All right. So Ungex for the next, I think we've got 2 days today and 2 days left. If you're in Australia or if you're out of Australia, you might not know we have really horrible bushfires here, like all over the country. 90% of our profits are going directly to the Red Cross. So if you were looking to treat Demodex mites, even if it is like just a starter kit, you'll be directly helping those affected by the bushfire, because it is pretty bad here at the moment. We're lucky in the city that we're just getting some smoke. I can't move my computer, but we're on the 15th floor, so we have quite a good view of the city. We're just getting smoke, but there's a lot of people and animals that have been affected by it. So we're just trying to do what we can, and it is a really good time to start treating mites or restock. If you are, please send us a message if you have any questions. We're more than happy to do kind of a one-on-one consultation. If you do want some feedback, we're always as honest as possible, because at the end of the day, everyone wants you to get the results. So that's why we do invest so much time in education and sharing the right information about Demodex mites. So I'm going to go. Thank you all so much for listening and asking questions. And if you do think this has been valuable or have more specific questions, please leave a comment or let us know. And I can do these a little bit more often. We used to do them, I think in 2018 when live videos became available on Facebook, but we let it go to the wayside. So this is a support group. It's for sharing information. So yeah, let us know. All right. Thanks everyone. Bye.